death of a loved one is always tragic, but the death of a young person can be particularly painful because that person had his whole life ahead of him. You know, Bobby was only 20 years old. We'll never know who he could have been or what he could have accomplished. And Bobby was a good young man, but he was lost. By giving in to temptation, he strayed. Then, disillusioned, he chose to end his life. And we know to condemn the sin, not the sinner. It was this sin that Bobby succumbed to. It led to his unhappiness, and it led him to take his own life. As goodness begets goodness, so does sin beget sin.
They're okay with this.
You're running low on sandwiches.
Mom, do you think Bobby got salvation?
I don't know.
Suicide is a sin, but maybe God knew that Bobby wasn't in his right mind. I mean, why would God allow Bobby to go to hell if it was in his power to cure him?
I don't know, Mary. Pull yourself together. People are uncomfortable enough.
Thanks for coming out. Sorry for your loss. I'm so sorry for your loss. Yes.
Mrs. Griffith, Mr. Griffith, I'm David. I was a friend of Bobby's. I wanted to offer my condolences. He was an amazing young man.
Aunt Mary, David is a good person. All of Bobby's friends were.
When Bobby was here, it was under control. Then he moves to Portland and someone puts all these ideas into his head.
It wasn't like that. David cared for Bobby.
We're his family. We knew how to help him. He wanted to change, to be closer to God.
To be closer to you.
Then he just got further and further into that lifestyle, and then he couldn't get out.
Do you believe everything they tell you in church? I know you and Uncle Bob meant well, but that sermon...
Bobby knew the repercussions of a homosexual lifestyle.
Bobby was good, and decent, and kind. Someone who didn't even know Bobby stood up there and condemned him, and you let him. Bobby did everything he could to make himself acceptable to you. He was so good, and bright, and funny. He should be praised. I'm sorry you can't see it that way.
Maybe you should go.
Fine. I left Bobby's things in his room.